welcome to my art update podcast thingy. This is episode 45. Things will calm down next week, right? Just the usual squeaky wheel here. The purpose of the podcast is to update people who know me, Andrew Woolner, about what's been going on creatively and otherwise for me over the last week. Of course, some life updates are going to get rolled into that. So you know what? If you don't know me and you've never heard of me, you can listen. But my goal is not entertainment. It's art. No, it's just telling you an update. So only listen if you're getting something out of this. If this is your first update and you haven't been keeping up with me over the years and you have a high tolerance for my bullshit, I suggest checking out update number 1 and maybe number 2 to bring yourself up to date before jumping back here. I very highly suggest you don't binge the all 44 prior episodes. That's probably too much of my whinging. I'll do a summary at the end of the year, and I'm really hoping that once I'm in Canada, well, after the holidays, I'll have more time to sort of put a little more thought into these updates and just, make them a little more, something like get some new poetry at the beginning, or I don't think I want to destroy your ears with a song, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this was another busy. This was another busy week. Someone tell my editor to cut that last bit out. Oh, wait, I'm the editor. Fuck it then. Another busy week. Big surprise. And the weeks are only getting busier from here. I'm recording this on friggin' Sunday, and I will try to get this posted tonight. Hopefully I can get all that done before the family gets home from their outing today. Let's head into the updates. YTG updates. Whoa, lots of stuff going on now. We've had more rehearsals for the Consent show, I believe, two since the last update dropped. Looks like the ensemble is mostly locked in now. Now, I don't mean locked in by like showing up to rehearsals, because everyone's schedule is wild, including mine. I'm going to miss half the rehearsal on Wednesday because I've got that photography gig. But yeah, anyway, yeah. But the big things this week are, we did a huge amount of, we didn't actually do any on the floor devising this week. There was a lot of sitting around and just figuring out what the scenes were. And then like over the next 2 weeks, we're going to have to rehearse them and create them and make them look good, which is going to be hard because, like, as I say, we don't have everybody at any of the rehearsals. Like, we've always got just a mix and match of people. It's frustrating. Yeah. So other stuff. The website is up. If you go to ytg.jp/consent, you can get your tickets for the show, or just go to ytg.jp and there'll be a thing there, a pop-up that'll get you right to the ticket page. So you can get tickets for the show. You can watch this online if you're not in Japan. You can watch it in person if you are in the Kawasaki, Tokyo, Yokohama area, Yokosuka, Saitama, the reasonable sort of kind of close things. Yeah. It's amazing how time-consuming creating one page is. I have to come up... So this is what goes into creating like a show page. I have to come up with the show image. So there's no poster designer for this show, so this is on me. And by the way, that I did not obviously take... If you see the image, it's sort of 2 Playmobil figures looking at each other. I did not take that image. That image is from Unsplash. The artist... The image does not require attribution, but I will be attributing that. I can't remember his name offhand, but I will be attributing that on the show site where it lists all the credits. I just haven't finished making that yet, so the current one won't have that. Maybe by the time you go there, I will have the guy listed. Anyway, fantastic photo. We're using it for everything. We just used it as the background for our Trello board, and then we were like, yeah, actually, that's a really good show image. So anyway, I had to come up with the show image. So it's the image that this guy created, and then the word consent over top. So for once, it didn't take me too long. I did come up with a sort of collage version of the show poster, and then we decided we actually liked the simple one better. So, all that work went into nothing. But anyway, back to what I have to do to create a web page. I have to come up with the show image. Then I have to go to YouTube Studio and create the link for the live streams for each performance. And then I have to take those, and then I had to take the first one of those and go to our link shortener software, shorten that link so that we have a link that, for instance, so the idea is that when you buy an online ticket, you get this link, and that link will connect you to the correct stream. It's really important that we use the link shortener and don't just give the YouTube thing, because once something went wrong with the YouTube stream and we had to create a new stream, which changed the URL, which meant that I had to find a way of contacting everybody who had a ticket and telling them about the new URL. So with this URL shortener, I can point that URL, that short URL, to any address I want. So anyway, that's a very important step, but it's fiddly. It's fiddly. That site, you have to log into the exact right page, or the login takes you somewhere else and you can't get to the shortener page. It drives me nuts. So make the shortened URL. Then I've got to go into our ticketing software, RSVPFI, and create the event twice, because I need to create one for the in-person show and one for the live stream, because the ticket prices are different. And because there's a pay what you can option for the live stream. This used to be worse with our old software that I was complaining about a few weeks ago, maybe last week, and I think a few episodes ago. I actually used to have to create an event for each performance, and so that got really, 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 really repetitive, because even if you duplicate them, there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't duplicate that you have to customize for each one. Oh, it drove me nuts. Anyway, but still 2, okay? Then I have to put all that stuff together in a web page, right? So I've got just to upload the photo. I've got to work, I usually work with a template from a previous show, so I don't have to do any sort of new designing, but then I've got to sort of make sure everything goes live. I've got to put the ticket, the ticket site windows in there. And I'm having this one problem that I actually haven't been able to fix. That one of them, it's got this spinny thing that's loading at the top, so they're not even. The one on the left is higher up than the one on the right, because the one on the right has a spinny thing. I can't figure out why that's happened. I've deleted it. I've duplicated the first one. It still happens. Anyway, at this point, perfect is the enemy of getting it done. So I just got it done. And there's that little website design glitch that's bugging the crap out of me. So if any of you are web designers and want to help me out with that, please give me a ding. Well, what else? Yeah. And then, and also on the webpage, I had the battle with plugins that interfere with each other. Yeah. So I just gave up on that. That's sort of what I was, that's what I was talking about, because it seems to be, no, that's not what I was talking about. The consent image looks grainy on the website because the theme for the website is interfering with the compressor for the graphics that keep the page loading quickly. And it's telling the compressor to shrink the image to really small, and then the browser blows it up to fit. So you end up with this. And I contacted the image compressor software because I believe I paid for it. And they're like, oh yeah, it's your theme. And I know what's going to happen. I contact the theme people to go, it's the image compression software. Anyway, long and short, go to ytg.jp/consent for tickets now. Do it now. I need to pay for stuff for this show. I am super broke this month. I have no cash flow because these jobs, this photography job I have this month is not probably going to pay till the end of December, if I'm lucky. And I am, cash flow crisis. It would be really great if people start buying tickets so that I have money to spend on stuff. This is not going to be an expensive show, but I do need to buy some prop items and costumes and stuff like that. And it's not very much, but I'm at the point where I'm breaking open the piggy banks and counting the pennies. I mean, figuratively speaking, pennies are no good to me here or in Canada for that matter now. All right, moving on. Nerd Night is this Friday. That's another great way to support me. You can watch the live stream of Nerd Night. It is actually free if you want to watch the live stream, but you can also make a donation. You can find that information at Nerd Night. Oh, no, sorry. I gave that wrong. Tokyo.nerdnight, nerdnite.com. There we go. That's the correct URL. Go there. You can also find it on the YTG page. If you go to the YTG page and click the shows link, there's a link that'll take you to the Nerd Night page there. Anyway, you can get your tickets for that. It's always a great time. This month at Nerd Night, we've got an astrophysicist, Elizabeth Tasker. She's going to talk about transporting asteroid grains from the Hayabusa space mission. So Elizabeth Tasker, I believe, works for JAXA, and they're the ones who sent the probe, the Hayabusa probe, to the asteroid, and it brought back samples, and there's just little dust grains. And she was in charge of transporting those to the UK for a conference or something. Anyway, she's going to talk about that. And then Christian Horn is going to explain what the hell Mastodon is. I think Mastodon is great. It's a great alternative to Twitter. We should all go there and drop Twitter like a hot potato. Anyway, Christian Horn is going to explain that. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great show. And I don't know why I'm selling this so hard. This is not what this podcast is for, but I'm really excited about it. And I would love to have a bunch of you watch that and I don't know, maybe donate if you want to. But really, consent's the main thing. Then Nerd Night. Yeah. So that's this Friday, November 17th. Podcasting, still waiting for a next recording date. No editing time, obviously, for Wayward Readers. That's probably not going to happen now for a bit. Photography. I just came back from a shoot for SCC. That's the NPO I sometimes do work for. So I got paid a little bit for that. Not very much. It's going to cover my train fare for the week, probably. And then I've got that big shoot on Wednesday. I will update you once that happens. And oops, gotta move this. Boo, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. Shit, I'm going to have to do some editing, aren't I? Life updates, not much new. Still getting ready for the Canada trip. Why am I so busy? I wanted to do a thing on a weekend. I wanted to go help my friend John fix up his ski lodge, and my weekends have been completely fucked since October. I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to have a weekend free, and then I get a little job, and there's a school thing that I have to deal with. Anyway, so that's a bit frustrating. Really hoping I get time in Canada. I never do, though. I always find stuff to do. I always find stuff to make myself busy. Anyway, lots of stuff to do in the next few weeks. But yeah, I will leave it there. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I mean, if you're listening this far, then you've listened. Thank you. And that's it. I'm going to go. Andrew out. See you next time. No, wait, I'm supposed to end with Andrew out. See you next time. Andrew out.